did I wake up to a nice woke smoothie this morning. Whatever illness that I have been fighting through this week, whether it was a cold, whether it was a mild version of the Anthony Fauci, he announced earlier this week that he was retiring from the bongo. On his way out, maybe he decided he was going to infect me one more time, trying to convince me to acquiesce to his demands and submit to a nice long round of the bongo with him. I hate to tell you, Anthony Fauci, but your trick didn't work. But whatever illness I've been fighting through this week, it magically disappeared this morning after drinking this nice woke smoothie. Oh, it had all the needed ingredients. Mythical racism, check. Victimization of a black player who was clearly in the wrong, check. Smoothie prepared by the inventor of the woke hug, check. For about 4, maybe 5 weeks, Stephen A. Smith was off woke take, supposedly rehabbing from shoulder surgery. Now, that's the excuse ESPN and Stephen A. Smith presented to the public anyway. As you guys know, I have inside sources at the worldwide leader in woke. Stephen A. Smith was not rehabbing from a shoulder injury. The real story is, while he was watching the hot dog eating contest on July 4th, Stephen A. was aroused. Look at all those sexy men chowing down on the woke wiener. How come I was not invited to participate? In response to his arousal, Stephen A. went on a week-long butt bongo bender. It really did a number on him. Doctors said it would be 4 to 6 weeks before he could comfortably sit down again. He spent that time laying on his side rehabbing his injury. But upon returning, it did not take him long to lodge a complaint of mythical racism involving the NFL. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Line proudly presents to you episode 69 of The Woke Turning on the Woke. Adam Schefter, Mike Florio. You guys really believed atoning for your white privilege? You really believed complaining about mythical racism granted you a lifetime pass to Woke Bath Wednesday? You really believed that? I've been telling you for years, there is no loyalty in the woke movement. The other day, the Rams and Bengals, they held a joint practice. I don't know why NFL teams continue to do this. It seemed like every time there's a joint practice, a fight breaks out amongst the teams. That's exactly what happened the other day. Fight breaks out on the field. Aaron Donald does his best impression of Babe Ruth, calls his shot, starts swinging and connecting his helmet to the heads of numerous Bengals players. Adam Schefter called it assault. Mike Florio, he said Aaron Donald should be suspended. This immediately caused woke flags to be thrown throughout the halls of ESPN. Woke party foul, woke party foul. How dare these white men comment on a situation involving the brothers? No more woke hugs for Adam Schefter. My fingers shall remain inside of Max Kellerman. I want you to listen to the reaction of Stephen A. Smith. This is the face of ESPN. This is the voice of ESPN. Roll the film.
You're labeling guys like that and accusing them of criminality with the verbiage that you use. That's a problem. And we should have a heightened level of sensitivity to that as black men. You both played in the National Football League. You're black men. I don't recall most athletes in professional sports. We keep forgetting that. Everything is a microcosm of society. By and large, 95 plus, if not 98, 99% of professional athletes in sports know how to damn act, and they don't get themselves in trouble, and they certainly don't engage in lawlessness. And so when you've got certain situations where that's not the case, but then you use the same verbiage when it comes to people fighting in practice in a physical sport like football, that is a problem. And then when you have, I'm gonna call it, when you got white analysts talking that way and using that language about black dudes, that's another level. And that's why I appreciate RC bringing that up, because now what I'm looking at, and I'm not accusing any analyst of racism or anything like that. I'm just telling them how we take it. And so now what I want to do, if I'm looking at whoever sent that tweet out about, I think it was, I forgot his name, was Schwartz or whomever, but it doesn't matter. Whoever sent that tweet out and whoever thinks like that, now I want to see if you're going to say that about the white dude that does it. Because if I don't hear the same verbiage, if I don't hear the same language, if something like that happens with somebody white, now I'm looking at you with a raised eyebrow and saying, what the hell are you trying to say?
What? Are you fucking kidding me? I would play video of the fight for you guys where it's abundantly clear that Aaron Donald is hitting players with his helmet, but YouTube will demonetize the video. But no one had to accuse Aaron Donald of criminality. It was caught on fucking camera. What verbiage would Stephen A. Smith like us to use? Aaron Donald wasn't trying to assault his opponent. He was simply offering him his helmet. It was a gesture of kindness and unity. Let me ask you something. If Matt Stafford had swung his helmet at Jamar Chase, would Stephen A. Smith label it an assault? Probably not. He would call it a fucking hate crime. Matt Stafford is clearly suffering from underlying racism. He was triggered by a black man and went into self-defense mode. Roger Goodell should mandate sensitivity training and allow me to massage Matt Stafford with a woke hug. Of course, you saw Ryan Clark in that clip I just played you nodding right along. Ooh, preach, brother Stephen. Wash my body in your mythical racism. Ryan Clark was actually who insinuated the mythical racism in this case. If Stephen A. were still rehabbing his ass, Ryan Clark would have been the one to deliver this sermon. But with brother Stephen A. back and better than ever, Ryan Clark, he was the sacrifice hitter. He set up Stephen A. with the insinuation. Stephen A. delivered the home run sermon. Ryan Clark claimed calling what Aaron Donald did assault puts him in the same class as criminals. Yeah, kind of does. Not sure if Ryan Clark understands this concept, but when someone breaks the law, it makes them a fucking criminal. ESPN's dynamic woke duo, they're upset. They are triggered because white NFL analysts are labeling a black man a criminal or accusing him of assault. Hell, I don't even like saying accusing him of assault. It was assault. No accusations needed. He was caught on camera. You heard Stephen A. in that clip. I am not accusing these white analysts of mythical racism. I am just telling them how we take it. Who's we? Who is we? Are you speaking for the entire black race? Seems to me you're only speaking for the race-baiting propaganda pushers at the main campus of Woke U. If a white player had done the same thing, the same shit would have been said about him. Matter of fact, it would have been far worse. This is another example of prominent black voices in the mainstream media trying to justify bad behavior. Well, maybe justify is not the right word. In this case, they are making excuses for bad behavior. This is another example of the assailant being made into the victim. It's no different than Jacob Blake. It's no different than Michael Brown. This mentality, it does nothing to help the black community. It only strengthens the lack of accountability. Look, I don't think Aaron Donald is a criminal. In a heated moment in a physical sport, he lost his cool, he made a mistake. But that doesn't mean he should not be held accountable. Why is ESPN trying to victimize him? What about the real black victims in this situation? The players that he was hitting with his helmet. Remember a couple years ago, Miles Garrett swung his helmet at Mason Rudolph? If I remember correctly, I think it happened late in the 2019 season on Monday Night Football. You guys remember the reaction the following day on ESPN and on Woke Take? Josina Anderson, an undergrad woke you shitfuck working at ESPN, she accused Mason Rudolph of mythical racism. She claimed Mason Rudolph said something egregious to Miles Garrett, causing him to try to decapitate him with his helmet. Now, what was her proof? Was she on the field when it happened? Did she interview the other 20 players on the field, ask them about it? Did she ask Miles Garrett personally and he confirmed the story? No, and no. Her proof? My intuition tells me Mason Rudolph said something racist to Miles Garrett. I have never seen Miles Garrett act this way before. This must be a clear case of mythical racism. Oh, thanks for that grade A journalism. Imagine my surprise when I Googled Josina Anderson and found out that she majored in promoting mythical racism. Let's just pretend for a second that Mason Rudolph actually said something racist to Miles Garrett. Now, to be clear, that did not happen. But let's pretend for 1 second that was the case. Is the appropriate response trying to end his career or worst case scenario, kill him by hitting him with a helmet? Again, the mainstream media always tries to justify bad behavior when the defendant is black. Are you confused with the logic yet? If so, let me summarize woke logic for you. If a black player swings his helmet at other black players, white people, you're not allowed to comment. If a black player swings his helmet at a white player, the white player is accused of mythical racism. Are you understanding now? In other words, the black player is always the victim, and white people should just shut the fuck up about it. Woke take is supposedly about diversity and inclusion. Did you see any diversity in that clip? Looked to me like 3 woke shit fucks. Chris Russo's the only white voice allowed on Woke Take in JJ Redick and NBA season. But with Chris Russo, they constantly accuse him of being racist. Thursday and Friday of this past week, you know how many white analysts were showcased on Woke Take? 0. Where was Adam Schefter? He fucking works at ESPN. They accused him of mythical racism. Could they not have walked down the hall and allowed him to defend himself? Not that it would have done any good. Adam Schefter, he would have just apologized for his white privilege, bent over, and allowed Stephen A to grab the cucumber. Dissenting voices are not allowed inside the woke echo chamber. Me personally, I would never agree to be on ESPN, but they would not invite someone like me anyway. They would never bring on a Joe Rogan, a Ben Shapiro. Hell, they wouldn't bring on black voices like Sage Steele, who again works at the network. If you are not promoting mythical racism, you're not allowed on Woke Take. Then they wonder why ratings are in the pooper. When the show was called First Take and it was Stephen A and Skip Bayless debating about sports, the show routinely averaged 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 viewers. Wednesday of this past week, 337,000. Woke Take is barely beating reruns of ridiculousness on MTV. These shit fucks, the Ryan Clarks, the Stephen A's, the Shannon Sharps, all these media personalities who claim to fight for the black community, they are the biggest threat to the black community. I'm not your enemy. I'm not the one exploiting your people for millions of dollars. Anytime someone tries to hold a black athlete or a criminal accountable, they get labeled with mythical racism. Then people wonder why there is record-breaking crime in major cities across America. Who does that affect? Doesn't affect me. Crime rate in my neighborhood is 0. If I leave my car doors unlocked at night, I'm more likely to find someone putting money inside my car instead of taking it out. Who does it affect? It affects the same black people Stephen A is supposedly fighting for. He knows what he's doing's wrong. He knows promoting mythical racism harms his community. Last summer, I posted an in-depth video on Stephen A. Smith. I encourage you guys to go check it out. I show his shift in mentality before he was given that massive contract by ESPN to his mentality after the contract. Once ESPN paid him millions of dollars, the morals and values of Stephen A. completely changed. That's why I call him the world's highest paid parrot. He does not believe what he promotes. The guy screaming about mythical racism, he is a paid mouthpiece for his white bosses who want him to push an agenda that's harmful to the black community. How ironic. But let me know what you think. Ryan Clark, Stephen A. Smith, accusing woke white journalists of mythical racism. Do any of you guys even watch Woke Take anymore? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.